What's up there guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Derail Valley. Welcome back to my realistic difficulty playthrough and indeed welcome back to Goods Factory in town. So in the last video we loaded up a train with a bunch of jobs and that was night time. It is now morning here at Goods Factory in town. We've had a good night's sleep. So let's head down the stairs and out into the yard. And as you can see here, the train is set and ready to go. And yeah, I'm really excited to get started. We've got two DH4s at the front there ready to pull this one. So yeah, without further ado, please do grab yourself a drink. Let's hit the rails. Alright then guys, first things first, let's grab the jobs again because I've loaded the game back in. And yeah, I will have lost the jobs out of my inventory. But yeah, they should still be here on the desk. So let's have a quick look. And we do have, firstly, our drop-off at Oilwell North. Now, where's that one gone? Here it is, right in front of us. So we'll stick that in slot 1. That's going to be our first drop-off. Next up, we've got some Omni containers. So they're second from the back of the train. And then we've got a 3-car job going to Food Factory. And that's that one. And then we've got Machine Factory in town, which is the last job. So they're going to be the last job that we drop off, and they are closest to the locomotive. So just again, number 1, first drop off, Oilwell North. Second drop off, Food Factory in town. We've got another drop at Food Factory in town, and then Machine Factory in town to finish things off. If we actually take a look at the map, you'll see what we are up here at Goods Factory in town, head into Oilwell North, Food Factory, and then I said that we were going to take this route down through here and up to Machine Factory in town. That seems like a good track to me, a good route to follow. Speaking of routes, let's have a quick look on the route map and make sure our switches are set here. So coming out of Goods Factory, we're going to head right into Oilwell North, where we will do a turnaround in there, come back out and head up to Food Factory in town. We will then head left down through Oil Refinery. We'll then head right and right again up to Machine Factory. So that is the plan of action. Now, there's one thing that we need to just do quickly. That's to throw this switch over here. Now, in the last episode, I advise going to take a look at it because this probably won't make sense otherwise. We cut the train here and then we went forward with the cars from that point on. We went forward because there was these 3 cars sat in this lane here. So we took the train up. I'll try and explain this quickly, but you could always go back and watch it as well. We took the train up there, reversed in for these 3 cars, pushed them back onto the front of here. And of course, that means there is a problem if we were just to go forward now, that this switch is set to go left, meaning that these cars, when they come forward, will go left, while all of these are going right, which will mean that this car in particular, or even this part of this one here, maybe, I don't know how that'll work. Yeah, this one here will be stretched between the 2 tracks and we won't be able to go forward. So, let's do the right thing first, get that thrown. We will validate our orders actually. We've got our route sorted, so we might as well do that while we're over here and then we can get going. Sorry, let me just pick that one up first and then move on. Right, so there we go, all validated and ready to go. I think we're going to need to start up our DH4s as it's been overnight. The loco we were running is now switched off. It's fine because we'll check for parking brakes, and as we see there, there's one on. So let's fire this baby up. We'll just check the brake cut out, and that one's actually is cut out. So let's hop down. What's going on? There we go. Let's go inside, hopefully. There we go. Right, we'll again release that parking brake and fire up this baby. This cutout needs throwing. We need some lights on. We'll do that. Put this forward. Put a bit of power on. This should mean that we're going, hopefully. You hear the brake starting to release fully. Get a bit of power on, and I am going to connect this up. You can see there, that's actually connected to the loco behind right now, this remote. Got a signal loss there, so we know that that's now this loco, and we are on our way. So, seems like we're making good progress. So I could go along the train and just listen for the squeak of any parking brakes that are still on. But I think we're doing alright here. Get a bit more power on. I think we're slightly uphill coming out of here actually, so something to consider. Right, first things first, this is our first drop off. We've got a 14-minute time bonus, which isn't much, but considering it's literally just down the track, I can kind of understand it. So we did pick up the job from D1S and we are now hauling it to Oilwell North, where we will drop it off in D2S. So we're going to take a look at that now. Just bring up the stations map and have a look at Oilwell North, sorry. Let me get the right one. Oilwell North. So we're going to go in here. We're going to go round the outside, round here, and then go through C Yard. Switches are set for that. Oh, we are flying here. Let's just ease off a little bit here. So yeah, we should be fine for that. The only thing that we'll have to remember to do is when we actually head in is to throw the switch so that we're heading back out the opposite direction to what we came in. It'll make sense when we get there. But we need to then reverse into lane B2 with this job. Okay, we can put a tiny bit of train brake and a tiny bit of dynamic on just to bring the speed under control here. A little bit more. See, the engine braking will cause the temperature to rise there. Tiny bit more train brake. Right, 60 limit on the switch, it's saying. I think it's actually 50. Difficult to see from here. A bit more train brake. A little bit more. Alright. Speed's coming down. Just ease off a bit. Oh no, we've got 60. We'll ease off the train brake entirely there. Just release it. And release the dynamic brake as well. Just let it roll around. 50 kilometers an hour. So yeah, we're currently here. We're heading up here. We're going to go in there. Again, just on this route map, that switch is set to take us in there. You see that actually highlighted there a bit ahead as a white dot. We'll just take a look, see what the speed limit is. Wow. 70. Wow, that's well, actually 50 immediately afterwards, so maybe not. We're on 50, so with brakes released and no power on, this is actually all good. Alright, wonderful stuff so far. Enjoying this, hope you are too. Right, 50 kilometers is what we're doing right now. And we're going to swing round to the left here. Now we've got a DE6 there, parked up, and a 20 kilometer limit here. So let's just put a bit of brakes on again. Try to slow things down because we do have quite a tight turn. Yeah, the DE6 is not one that we've got unlocked so far. Obviously, we've played it many times in standard difficulty, but during this realistic difficulty run, we haven't unlocked it yet. And that's with purpose. I mean, I did want to run some of the other locos first. And we've done that quite a lot. We did that quite a lot with the DE2s. We've utilised the S060 again in the last episode and the episode before that. Let's get this speed down. Right, are we in fully? Because we need to just think about, whoops, throwing that switch. Yes, we are. So what I'm going to do is it's not that one. It's this one on the route map. Just need to be aware that that switch needs to be thrown that way to take us out that way. I was thinking about it before, and I was thinking that could easily catch somebody out that. Right, we're on 20 here. We're heading straight down the middle here. Got a 50 limit through here, but we'll just keep it nice and steady. We're going to be reversing into the B yard. I mean, the thing is the other way that you could do it, really. There's nothing wrong with doing it this way. We could have pulled past and then reversed in. That's another way of doing it, but I just thought we'd just take a look around. Also, we are looking for 2 demonstrator locos that we're missing at the moment. The DM3 and the the S282. So yeah, we're missing those. Haven't found them yet. And normally these things kind of jump out at you, although we do have a few locos to fix up at the moment. So this is our own DH4, by the way. I don't know whether if you've seen the previous episode, you'd know that, but for anybody that's watching, you notice here that I've done it in the Derail Valley paint, but the difference between this and that is this one's brand new and restored. This one is rented loco, so it's in used condition, worn condition, shall we say. So where ours is fully refurbished and ready to go, even the interior here is looking lovely. But yeah, basically, we are next going to be restoring the DE2. I'm just going to go forward here on foot and look to get us in a position of getting past this switch so I can reverse in. But yeah, the DE2 is next, so that's the traction motor that we're going to be picking up. Just have a quick look here, that switch is correct. Wonderful. Right, so yeah, we're going to pick up the traction motor next with this car, this flat car. Just hop over here. I'll use the remote here just to keep things under control. We'll ease off the throttle. It's rolling through here and then reverse into B2. So yeah, but yeah, we've got the traction motor to pick up from Machine Factory in town, and ultimately that's where we're heading. But I just thought it'd be fun to do a couple of jobs as well on the way and get those, get a bit more money, and also just enjoy the ride in a nice relaxed way. So that's exactly what we're doing. Going to drop these jobs off in order and just enjoy it, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. Basically, we've restored the DH4, we're restoring the DE2 now, and then during this run we're potentially going to pick up a DE6 from Coal Power Plant and the SO60 that we spotted at City West. So there's quite a bit for us to do, and I'm enjoying it. There's quite a number of licenses that are still to unlock. So there's the DE6, as mentioned. There's the hazmat licenses, so 3 of those, and the military licenses as well. So just generally just the most expensive licenses still to unlock. Right, that's going to take us into B yard, and then we want to be in B2S. So B2 is that one, and we'll go and just take a look and see if there's anything in there. We'll just release the brakes and put a bit of throttle on first. Looks like there is some cars in our lane, but that's alright. They'll probably easily fit in, to be fair, but this is taking obviously a while for these to come back, but also at the same time, we're just charging our remote now as well with the solar panel on there. It's getting charged as the sun's come up. Here comes our cars nicely back here. The one thing that I'm not really going to be doing as part of this job is picking up any additional jobs along the way. Sometimes that's something that I like to do. I'm going to try and keep it kind of quite focused, especially because we have got 4 jobs to drop off. I want to try and get those time bonuses in as much as possible. Alright, I dare say that that's in. Yeah, I mean, I used to think you had to be past the sign, but you don't. As long as it's in the lane, that's it, and we're in there nicely. We didn't bash those other cars as well, so that's obviously a bonus. We can actually put one little bit of throttle on there just to get things moving forward a little bit while we go and validate this order. Hopefully our train won't run away too much. But here we go. So we'll stick that in there. We've got a time bonus. We did that in 11 minutes. Where's the bin? And we'll grab our money. And there we go. 297,000. We'll head out. And there is our train. So it is going. It's only going 8 kilometers though. So only one notch of throttle. We'll hop aboard. I'll just run along here. It might look a bit janky, but at least we'll get back to our locos. So we are heading... Oh, just run along here. So we are heading up to Food Factory in town next. Put a little bit more throttle on there. And so far so good. Obviously the heaviest part about this order, this set of jobs actually, is the final set of cars which are going to Machine Factory in town. These boys, 500 tons worth. So yeah, we'll just switch all of these onto the delivery screen. So C6I and C9S. Right, we'll set up to go into Food Factory C6I. Let's have a quick look here. So this switch is right. As far as Food Factory goes, C lane is down here, so let's switch that across to go left there, and then right, and then C6I is there, and then 9S is up there. So I guess we'll go into 6, we'll drive into 6, assuming there's nothing in it, because it is an incoming lane, and then we'll reverse into 9. Hopefully that makes sense. So, look at this lovely set of graphics here. You can hear it powering up the hill here, and you hear the fan is on, but yet we're only just into the green set of oil temp there, so as far as temperature goes, not too bad. To be fair, it's not a massive journey up here to Food Factory, so I think we should be able to enjoy this pretty much. Maintaining 40 nicely here. Just keep this going. You see, she's just come into the yellow temperature bracket there, so just be careful really overall. A bit of a misty morning, but that's where we're heading, across that bridge. Food Factory in town, I think, is just beyond that mountain there. So if we look on the map quickly, we can see we're probably about here, looking across this bridge, and then that's that mountain where Food Factory in town's behind. Oops. So yeah, into the yellow amber there. She's hauling nicely though. What a wonderful game. I say it often, I know, but what a wonderful experience of just being able to just put a train together and just pull. I think I've said it too many times, but it's just marvellous. Let's check the switches again. There we go. Yeah, all good. Alright, so we're coming up to the switch now. 60 kilometre limit it says. I wonder what it'll be when we actually turn. Can't see it being 60. Just ease back on the power a little bit. Again. Ooh, 30. Okay, brakes, please. There we go. Killed off that speed there pretty easily, to be fair. Probably because we're heading slightly uphill as well. Get a bit more power on, keep the speed up to 30 at least. I was a bit worried there because we had to kill that off pretty quick. Yeah, she's feeding around nicely, to be fair. 40 limit on this bit of the track. So the thing about this game is what goes up must come down as well, and it's, you know, it's a case of if you are heading up, you will eventually head down, and you just need to be aware that you're going to gain speed. So we'll just ease off on the throttle here. You see we are gaining speed naturally here now, heading downhill. Some dynamic brake on, just to hold us a little bit of train brake as well. Maybe another notch. 50 limit here, so not too much drama. High piece of track up here, which runs alongside. Spoken about it many times. But basically on the map it's this piece of track here that loops around. It's interesting. Okay, holding it at 40, we've actually got a 30 limit here, so put a bit more brake on. I think actually we're probably coming into Food Factory shortly, maybe not immediately. A few more turns. We're down to 30 now. Okay, we're utilising the dynamic brake, just a notch there. You can actually control it with the keyboard with the O and L keys, so I do like to use the keyboard, to be fair, when I'm playing now. It's just yeah, really useful. We'll get a bit of train brake on again, gaining a bit of speed there. Just bring that under control. 50 limit. And there you go, we're holding it at 30, but we could speed up, but it's 30 again coming up here, so we'll just keep it steady. So we are coming into Food Factory in town now, so we'll be getting ready to dispatch that rearmost set of cars, and then the one immediately in front of it, which is just the 3 empties. Alright, so we've dropped right down in speed now. We'll just release the train brake a little bit more. Keep the dynamic brake on. So we're going to swing round to the left here to come into Food Factory in town. Okay, we're gaining a little bit of speed. We'll just notch up the brake a tiny bit. Should be fine like that. Beautiful. I've enjoyed the run, to be fair. So let's have a look. The time bonus is 44 minutes, and obviously that's, we're going to be well within that, aren't we? So the one thing you can't control with the remote control is the dynamic brake. Because obviously not all the locos have it, so yeah, it's one of those really. Be nice to have it on all of them, but alright, so we're going to go in here with our most rearmost set of cars. Again, checking D6. I'm just noticing the brakes on a bit too much. We'll just ease that off. So just a quick look. C6I, sorry. And then next up, Is that very far one, I think, wasn't it? C9S? Was it? C9S. So yeah, let's grab the remote and hop down. Get these rear cars in here and get them disconnected. Ah, station office is right next to us as well. Marvellous. I think one thing that we can install when we get to Machine Factory in town is a charger for this remote, just in case we need it. You know, like, so we did quite a bit of late evening shunting, like, in the previous job, previous job, and yeah, we used the steamer though, so obviously there's no remote control needed for that. But I think it would be a nice touch, to be fair, to have the remote charger available. It also charges our flashlight as well, so yeah, not a bad option. Alright, there we go. So, we'll go and disconnect this job and then we'll pull forward and get the 3 cars, these 3, into their lane as well. To be fair, what I should have done there is put the parking brake on first, but anyway. Pull these forward. Why isn't it going forward? Oh, come on, what is going on? Am I hit with some sort of strange glitch here? The reverse is not working. Why is that? What is going on? I can't say that I've had this before. What's happened? Let's go and check to make sure we're connected up correctly and everything else. Make sure it's not something I've done. Yeah, so that's disconnected correctly. Let's get paid off this job. I might need to save and reload here. I can't help but think this is some sort of weird bug. Right, we've done that one. Right, can we move forward now? See, that speed was on there. Okay, we got the ability to use the brake. Why can't we use the throttle? Something gone wrong? What happens if we shut the locos down and start them up again? Is that going to help? It won't let me control anything here. Ah! Wow. Wow. Okay. Little tiny bit of dynamic brake, you can't do anything. Wow, I thought that was completely off, my bad. Okay, but still, just goes to show. I didn't, yeah, I to be honest with you, I would have found it very hard to believe if that was a bug, because this game, I know that there's the brake line bug that I've come across more than once, but I've never had a bug where you can't control the train like that. The two main bugs that I've seen is the brake line bug, which includes the MU cables. If you have that, I found that I had to just completely reboot my PC. Don't know what it was, but yeah, there was an episode where I captured that in my standard difficulty playthrough, and it was rather bizarre. Basically, your brake lines don't load in, and neither do your MU cables, and then you just end up, you can't do anything, you can't move. If you are moving, you don't have the ability to brake. It's weird. And then the other thing is, sometimes if you're away from your main loco and you try to go back in it, like if you're using the external camera on standard difficulty, you can end up in a situation where you have the controls don't load in properly, and it just gives you this weird, freaky sort of grayscale control deck inside the cab. It's bizarre. But yeah, wow, caught up by the dynamic brake. It wasn't even loud either, like in terms of the engine. Like you can hear the dynamic brake, you can hear the resistance. But yeah, wow. Alright, let's get these 3 cars in here. Okay, that was a decent nudge, but I dare say that that's not the end of the world. We might have had a bit of damage there, actually. We'll soon find out if we have a look on the machine. It'll tell us if we've got a damaged car there as a result of hitting that a bit too hard. Let's get these cars in here. See if I can dash over here. Right, we're pushing these cars back. You should really leave you enough space to get your cars in, I think. But anyway. Right, that'll do. Alright, they're in as well, so let's go get paid. I'll have a quick look on the machine just to see if we got any damage for that little bump there. It's possible. Alright, we got paid, we got our time bonus as well, so we're now up to 316,000. Fees wise, no, we didn't get any damage. That's just our DH4 running up costs there. So yeah, pretty normal stuff. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you enjoyed the run. It's good to see that little issue there with the dynamic brake. It just makes it a bit more interesting. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd love it if you'd go ahead and do that and hit the notification bell to be notified of up and coming videos. But otherwise, guys, I will say please do take care of yourselves. And I hope you join me for the next episode. And I'll catch you guys again soon.